I didn't even know they were in Australia.
G'day guys!
G'day! Welcome to Season 2 of Cemeteries Down Under. It's our second year now. We've been in it for 1 year. Happy New Year to everyone. Hope you've all had an amazing New Year's night, day. We're here at St John's Anglican Church in Ashfield, which is an inner city suburb. Haven't been here before, but I thought it'd be a nice place to explore, and I saw in the photos it had a lovely little church graveyard and also a beautiful church. So let's show you around. Let's explore. St John the Baptist Anglican Church is still an active Anglican church, and it's in a suburb of Ashfield in Sydney, New South Wales. It was founded in 1840 on land donated by an Elizabeth Underwood. The church building is the oldest authenticated surviving building in Ashfield, having been built at a time when subdivision increased the population density sufficiently to turn Ashfield into a town. It was also the first church built along the Parramatta Road, which linked the early colonial towns of Sydney and Parramatta. The earliest remaining parts of the building are one of the first Sydney designs by the colonial architect Edmund Blackett, who also designed the church in Camperdown, St Stephen's. The expansive church grounds contain a cemetery dating back to 1845 that contains the remains of many notable Ashfield residents. Australia's only memorial to Australian Air Force cadets occupies a prominent position near the entrance to the church. St John's site has been listed on the local Environment Plan Heritage Schedule and the Register of the National Trust of Australia. Beside these prominent figures, many of St John's graves contain children. Typhoid and whooping cough epidemics took heavy tolls in the Victorian period. Although Ashfield was known as a healthy area, many families lost 2 or even 3 children. Burial rates at St John's declined rapidly around the turn of the 20th century. Directors' notes from the time indicate that many funeral services conducted at the church now preceded burial at Rookwood Cemetery. Even though the cemetery has never been closed, no burial plots have been sold for some years. And since the late 1970s, day-released prisoners have assisted with the maintenance of the cemetery grounds. The government also awarded a grant for restoration work in the graveyard. Yeah, it's got a lovely little crematorium area, memorial garden for some of the parishes that get cremated, and they got their ashes here. And got a couple of the older tombstones to start on. And here we've got beautiful IHS and a Bible. And it's in memory to Emmeline Louise, sorry about the plane, aged 10 years. And then also Percy Forrest, age 5. I think they're children of the Reverend William Lumsdane. And I can't read the rest, it's very faded. Here we've got a beautiful cross. And that's Reverend William here. So he died on the 7th of April 1902. He was aged 78. And his wife Mary died on the 20th of July 1916, aged 92. Or maybe it's his mum. But looks like the wife and the children are here. Well, and here we've got the beautiful vault of Abraham Hearn and William And there's Sarah. Some of the writings faded. James Hearn, who died the 7th of January 1882, age 33. William, son of Abraham and brother of Martha, who died the 7th of November 1866, aged only 30. We've got Martha here, Frederick Hearn. Gorgeous big vault. Look at this gorgeous tombstone here. Look at the designs on this. And it's sacred to the memory of William Highfield, who departed this life April the 5th, 1869. Looks like aged, is it 34 or? Not quite sure because that part's a bit faded. And then you've got on the Bible area, Mary, wife of the above, who died December 29, 1892, aged 74, and Mary Ellen, the daughters of the above, who died December 26, 1855. Oh, so there's two daughters, Mary and Ellen. So sorry. What a gorgeous tombstone. This one's very faded, but look at the fence, it's still in great condition. It's gorgeous. Nice solid fence. And then you've got, in loving memory of Henry Tudor Shadworth, but I can't read the date. And this gorgeous one here, it's in the memory of David McRae, who departed this life in the 23rd of May 1870, I think, 8 or 6, age 68 years. Also Elizabeth, the daughter, departed this life, and James Turner and Louise Turner. And this gorgeous one here, I can't really read it that well. Looks like Garth, maybe, or Sarah, I don't know, no, it's something A-R-T-H, Lysact. He died in August 1889, only aged 24. But I like the designs on it. You got the beautiful lilies over the cross there. And this one here doesn't really say, but it looks like they're a family here, because here we got in loving memory of Cuthbert Lysac of Stoke Bishop, Bristol, England, who met his death by accident on the 19th of December 1883, only 21. So it must be the son of this person here, maybe. Records show that young Cuthbert here was killed by a shark. He was only 21 and he'd only been 9 months in the colony and was bathing in the Parramatta River at midday between an area called Blackwell Point, between Hunters Hill and Gladesville, and the other persons nearby were two boys who observed him swimming in the stream and then disappear. And they gave the alarm, and the body was recovered 4 hours afterwards, where it was found the deceased had been mutilated by a shark. Apparently the flesh was ripped off the arms, side and thigh. So a very tragic accident indeed, and may the poor young man rest in peace. Awful, awful tragedy.
This one's unusual, Volt. It looks like a big scroll. And that's in loving memory of George Alexander Mulray, born the 16th of July 1931, died the 20th of August 1902. George Gordon Murray, so it's not Mulray, it's Murray. Born the 11th of May 1872, died 19th of August 1874, that's your birthday. Fanny Isabel Elmer, beloved wife of Joseph McKinney, born the 21st of May 1875, died the 12th of November 1904, and Fanny Gordon Murray, who died the 1st of August 1910. It's quite an unusual design, that. I don't see that many of them. And this tall pillar here, we've got something Horace. I can't work it out. 1821, I think it is. Died November 22nd of October 1821. I love the big pillar. And this one is, looks like butter, is it? Or butler? Looks like Henry Butler maybe. And he died in an accident in June 1882, and he was only young too. Yep. Well, this one has got a beautiful lady on the top of it, and it's in the memory of William Henry Hudson, born November 1813 and he died April 1882. And then we've got our dear mother and grandmother Elma Mary Hudson down underneath, and here looks like a Robert Hudson. But I really like the little statue up the top. The weather's getting a bit sour, so this might be a quick video, but I thought we'd explore anyway since we're in the area. And this one here looks like the pentagram or the Star of David by the looks of it, and that looks like a Shriner sort of symbol, which I didn't even know they were in Australia. But anyway, this is Samuel Henry Terry, born the 9th of April 1883, died the 21st of September 1887. So yeah, let me know if that's a different symbol. I will look it up, but that's very unusual.
Samuel Henry Terry was an Australian politician. He was born at Box Hill to landowner John Terry and Eleanor Rouse. He entered a counting house at a young age to learn business, but in 1842 inherited his father's property at Box Hill, in addition to the 5,000 acres on the Yass Plains. He brought up extensive suburban real estate in Sydney and also owned property in Queensland and New Zealand. On the 13th of May 1856, he had married a Clementina Parker Want, with whom he had 2 children. A second marriage on the 12th of September 1863 to Jane Weaver produced a further 3 children. In 1859, he won by-election for Mudgee, which he represented for 10 years. Determined to reform the law, he introduced 17 public bills and 11 of them were enacted. They included the 1874 Triennial Parliaments Act, carried in spite of the opposition of the Parkes government, acts for the enforcement of claims against the Crown and betting houses suppression, and the 1874 Suppression of Garroting Act. He died of heart disease on the 21st of September 1887 in his home. The symbols on his tombstone says he's a Freemason, and Freemasonry in Australia truly began when 21 influential men drew up a petition on the 23rd of December 1839 to perform a Masonic lodge to be called the Lodge of Australia Felix. Previously, Freemasonry was governed primarily by 3 constitutions, coming from the English, the Scottish and Irish settlers to Australia. Other notable Freemasons include Sir Edmund Barton, Australia's first Prime Minister, Sir Donald Bradman, Australia's cricketing legend, and Sir Robert Menzies, Australia's 12th Prime Minister. Freemasonry uses the square and compasses to remind members of basic guidelines for their dealings with other men. The square symbolises integrity, truthfulness and honour, while the compass symbolises the importance of self-control while keeping emotion and prejudice within bounds. At first, Freemasonry was Christian, though revolutionary for the first 18th century, admitting all Christians, Roman Catholics, Anglicans and dissenters alike. But over time, Freemasonry opened to candidates with less and less knowledge of the biblical texts on which its rituals are based.
Well, this cross has got an unusual design on it. That's Anton Tange. I think those initials might be for a doctor or some sort of specialist, who died the 18th of August 1888 at Delmar, Ashfield. He was 64. And on the side we've got Fanny Louisa, eldest daughter of Anton and Fanny Adelaide, who died the 2nd of June 1889, aged 31. Also Maud Eveline, sister of the above, who died the 18th of September 1880, only 1 year and 11 months. So this one's got no name, but I wonder if she's just there as a patron saint or something to watch over some of these graves here. So this tall one here, you can just see the father or the priest up the top, and it's in memory of Emily, the beloved wife of George Anderson, died the 15th of June 1878, aged 27. Also their beloved son Arthur John died the 9th of October 1878, only 4 months. And George Anderson died the 24th of January 1888, aged 44. But the statue's just remarkable, and the fence too. Still solid, still beautiful. That looks like they've cleaned it. So this one, it's a gorgeous family tomb with a really unusual design. It's a bit faded on the top, but I'll get Jason to film it and you might be able to read it with the camera. So this one here, we got in loving memory of Michael Broadbelt Young, died the 14th of July 1890, aged 77. Also Jessica Julia, daughter of the above, died the 14th of May 1864, aged 16. She was only young. And you can see the beautiful oak leaf right on the top. This beautiful vault again with the gorgeous urn up the top and the drapery. It's a bit faded to read, so I'll get Jace to show you around, and maybe you can read it clear on the camera. It's a bit dark, but you can see a beautiful urn on the top, and then you've got the upside down torches on this big tombstone monument, and it's sacred to the memory of Edward Wrench, born the 12th of January 1828, died the 26th of October 18, looks like 53. It is a pretty stone, it's just a shame. The sky's getting darker, so it's kind of making it hard for us. And these old ones here, we've got Sarah, the beloved wife of John Mackenzie, died the 10th of July 1882, aged 39. Also their daughter Jessie, died the 7th of October 1882, only 4 months. Also the above John Mackenzie died the 24th of November 1884, aged 44. And then over here we've got sacred to the memory of Sarah Jane, beloved wife of W.H. Davison, who died the 2nd of July 1887, aged 20. Looks like 3 years. Also Reginald, their infant son, who died 12th of March 1888, only 10 months. Also Alice Adelaide Gunnery Mackenzie, sister of the above, who died the 16th of May 1915, aged 39. And it says she had her cross and bore it well. How much she suffered, none can tell. It's one thing I love about the older tombstones. They've got like little poems or sayings on them. You know, it tells you a snippet of their life. This is an unusual one. I can just kind of make out some of the writing. It's Louise Augusta Marion Charlotte Augusta. But look at the shape of it. It's really unusual. This is one of the earliest ones here. You can see they've repaired it. And it's in memory of Julia Isabella Underwood, who departed, so 1860. Oh, she was born in 1816 and she departed in 1834, I think it was. It's very old now and faded, but yeah. It's a very interesting little graveyard. We've got one of the beautiful older vaults here, and they've replaced the names on it so people can read it. And it's Nellie Eleanor Seabrook, wife of Stanley James Seabrook, great-granddaughter of John and Sarah Ann Ireland, born the 1st of July 1906. Died 2003, which wasn't a long time ago. And they got sacred to the memory of John Ireland, died 1847, and son James, he died 1884, and Sarah Ann Lucas, widow of John Ireland, she died in 1856, age 48. So nice to see like older graves being maintained by their ancestors, you know. I know a lot of people can't do that, but when you do see things like that, it just really warms my heart. Here we've got the beautiful Celtic cross. And we've got in loving memory of James Christian Corlett, canon of St Andrew's Cathedral, for 33 years pastor of this parish, died the 12th of November 1900, aged 63, and waiting for the consolation of Israel. Bernard Christian died 10th of May 1878, aged 5 years. Ella Eugenia died the 23rd of July 1902, aged 20, son and daughter of the above. Father, I will that they also whom thou hast given me be with me where I am, come Lord Jesus. Well, what a beautiful cross. Absolutely gorgeous. Next to the Celtic cross, that might be his wife, but it looks like the name plaque's now fallen off or faded. And this one's got an unusual design, and it looks like there was another sort of thing here that's fallen off. It looks like the cross and then like two logs or something. But it's in loving memory of Louise Taplin, Tappy, died the 21st of May 1901, matron of the Infants Home in Ashfield for 15 years. She rests from her labours and her works do follow her. This woman was full of good works. Wow. She would have been a pillar of strength for a lot of people, for a lot of little kiddies.
Louise Taplin was born near London in 1855. She began her career in nursing in the 1870s in Paris, working in a large hospital. There where she learned various technical training relating to nursing. After her time in France, she returned to England and took a post of governess. She travelled with the family to Amsterdam, where her employer was seeking treatment from a doctor, a celebrated doctor and massage therapist. There she learnt massage from the doctor, and he offered her the post of his assistant. However, she refused. She next went to work for a Greek family of wealth and influence. But after a bout of ill health from her brother Will, she decided they both should immigrate to Australia, where it was believed the climate was better suited for convalescence. In 1886, she was appointed matron of the Infants' Home in Ashfield, a refuge for unmarried mothers and their children. During her time, she oversaw building works to provide an isolation ward for mothers and children who were suffering from contagious disease and illness, a dedicated playground for the children, and an on-site laundry. During 1893 and 1894, with a banking crisis in Australia and diminishing grants from the government, it was believed the infants' home should have to close. But Taplin did not want to see the children in want of a home, so she sacrificed her time and worked for free during this time of hardship. Louise Taplin died on the 21st of May 1901 after a prolonged bout of pneumonia, and she's buried there in St John's in Ashfield.
This looks like some sort of a memorial, and it's to the glory of God, erected in memory of Douglas Arthur Whitehurst, aged 20 years, fighter pilot from the RAF, killed in India the 16th of May 1944, Second World War, 1939 to 45, and in memory of former members of the Air Training Corps who lost their lives in defence of Australia 1941 to 45. And come around this side. That's in everlasting tribute to those parishioners of St John's Church of England, Ashfield, who served in the fighting forces of Australia during the Second World War, 1939 to 1945. That's beautiful. You've got around here. And we've got some of the names here. To the glory of God, in memory of the parishioners of St John's Church, Ashfield, who made the supreme sacrifice during the Second World War. And you've got the names Appleton, Blair, Board, Bonus, Chapman. There's a few Chapmans, so they might have been brothers or two sons and father. Crawford, Eccleton, Edward, Finch. There's Whitehurst, Walder, Taft, Strike, McLennan, Steed, Rogers, O'Sullivan, Gibbs, Knight, Lane and Austenfeld. Thank you for your service. It says, they shall not grow old as we are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun, and in the morning we will remember them, lest we forget. That's a saying we often say on Anzac Day too, which is a day that we remember the fallen.
Hey guys!
Weather's getting a little bit sour. It's actually black, so we're just waiting for it to pour down any second. But again, I hope you had a beautiful new year. Got lots of exciting things to show you this season, and even though it's a short video, I hope you enjoyed our little sticky beak at Ashfield, St John's Ashfield. It's a very beautiful church and it's a cute graveyard. I can see that they do their best in looking after it, but it's very interesting. I'm going to find who I can and see what photos I can put with the graves that I've shown you.
Don't forget guys, subscribe and hit the like button. We'll see you soon.